Hello, everyone, and welcome to the IAM Love Builders show. We are your hosts, Casper and Cheryl Stockham, and we're so glad that you tuned in with us today.
Yes.
We'd like to give a great big shout out to our broadcast partners. Thank you for being with us. And we just want you to know that I Am Love Builders is a show that's dedicated to all things dealing with relationships and communication. I think I need to slow down. I'm trying to talk
Yeah.
fast.
And talk fast. Yeah.
Okay. So we believe that your marriage and your relationship can grow, thrive, and prosper.
Yes.
And that's why we work very hard to help you become MVPs. That's the most valuable partner in your marriage or relationship. Here at I Am Love Builders, we firmly and completely believe that if you are not having fun, you are not doing it right.
I know that's right. And that statement is not a one-sided statement.
No.
It's not like you need to have fun and I'm not having. No, it's both together.
Yes.
You're not having fun in your
Mhm.
relationship. There's some big problems going on. Hey, I wanted to shout out to our sponsors. So we have season 1 of Winning with Love is streaming now. You can get it through our website or through our app. And season 2 will be streaming right around the end of the year in December. Oh, excuse
Bless
me.
you.
Yes. We just completed filming on season 2.
Mhm.
So it's in the can in the production studios. So that'll be coming out later this year. We'll be launching the premiere of it later this year. And we'll just stay tuned basically for that. We have a new book series that is out on Amazon right now. We have Mastering Adam, which I wrote last year. Mastering Eve, which we just wrote this year, and then Mastering Adam and Eve. This series is going to be a phenomenal series for any couple or single to really get a hold of because it just covers all the bases.
Right.
It really does. And we're going to probably get into that because today is going to be Q&A day.
Yes.
So we have a bunch of questions that have come in over the past few months from folks. So we're going to get to all of your questions. And if you're watching live, feel free to type in your question in
the chat
the
box.
chat box, and we'll answer it live right here on the air. We also have a lot of media services we provide through Zandra TV network. We have a micro network we're going to be talking more about, but we just have a lot of things we can do for you: TV advertising, pay-per-view platforms, micro networks, podcasting promotions, you name it. Speaking of our micro networks, you can put your content on TV.
Yes.
And it can get access to 850 million homes via the Zandra TV network. So that's exciting for your current content. So whether you have new content you want to create or old content that's kind of sitting on YouTube and not getting any views, put it over on Zandra TV. Maybe we can help you get some more exposure for that, for your content. We also have Go Shop America on Zandra TV network. It's going to be coming live here very shortly. This is a great way for you to get exposure for your current product or service or book or something like that. So these online shopping programs typically deal in large quantities, right?
Right.
They're trying
like
to get
your HSN and your QVCs. But this one is more tailored to those of us who are entrepreneurs on a smaller scale.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have 50,000 items to sell. Maybe we might have 100.
Right.
Maybe it's 50. Maybe it's 25.
Right.
But it gives you an opportunity to expand your audience as well as getting your product or service in the hands of people who wouldn't otherwise know to do that.
Absolutely. We're excited to be on Go Shop America ourselves with our book series. So our book series is going to be on Go Shop America. We have a most valuable partner network on Facebook, and we have a couple hundred folks in there, and not just couples, singles as well. And we dispense a lot of great information, a lot of tools and strategies that we hand out to couples, and it gives you more access to our app that we're going to be talking about right now.
Yes.
So we have an app that you can get from our website. Right now, we're in a transition phase from the old to the new. The new is going to be off the chain. So you're going to want to get on the waiting list for the new. And when you do, you're going to get an instant 25%, 20% discount on any of the upgrades. Now, the app is free, so you don't have to pay anything. You have to put any credit card information in. But if you do upgrade, you're going to get an instant 20% discount on any of the upgrades if you're interested. And we want to give a big shout out to our anchor sponsor, which is Texas All Stars. These guys have really perfected the crypto mining space.
Mm-hmm.
This Texas All Stars is connected to Texas Coin, and they are now $100 million company.
Wow.
Just reached $100 million yesterday, I think, or the day before. Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah. And when we first saw this program, it was $5 million. Now it's $100 million.
Wow.
So what it is in a nutshell is you can get a mining operation started, and you don't have to, it's not in your home. It's all handled in Texas. So it's kind of like a virtual mining operation. But every day there's coins that are mined, crypto coins that are mined and put into your account. So over the course of months and years, just a lot of coins that are added, and those coins have value. Mm-hmm. So I have a miner. Cheryl has a miner. I have two sisters that have a miner. I have a daughter that has a miner. So it's just a great way to create some legacy income for your family, because these mining operations go on for 130 plus years.
And also, if you're not aware or don't really know a lot about cryptocurrency, let alone crypto mining, right. Just use the QR code right there and get some more information so that you can be knowledgeable.
Yeah, just get informed. And the cool thing about it is really you can earn while you learn.
That's right.
So even if you don't know about crypto, it really doesn't matter, because nobody's asking. You don't have to fill out a questionnaire.
Yeah, you're not going to be tested.
You're not going to be tested on it. No. You just need to invest in a miner, and it's a $995 one-time expense, if you will. But every day the miner starts to work the following day and goes on for the next 130 plus years. So it's just a great way to get your financial house in order for your family. All right, so we get questions that come in from time to time through through our social media networks and everything else. So I've compiled a list of those questions, and we have them for couples and singles. So we're going to go through some of these questions because they're really good questions, and I'm sure if these folks are asking, a lot of our audiences wants to know as well. So we're going to go through these and just. We're just going to knock them out. We'll get done with as many of them as we can. Yeah, but there's over 20, so we may not be able to get to all of them. But we're going to do that when we come back from the break.
All right.
Yeah, so we're super excited about just being able to come to you and bring information to you like this. We normally have a guest on the show, but our guest had to cancel and reschedule for a different week. So we're like, you know what? Let's just get some of these questions knocked out, right? So we'll just have these on standby in case we have another, because it's a live show.
Yes.
So speaking of which, it is live. So if you have a question, this is the best show to ask it on, because we're going to be answering questions.
Yes. So type your question.
In the chat.
Comment in the chat box.
Yeah. Type it in the chat box and we'll answer it live while we are on the air. You are watching IAM Love Builders with Casper and Cheryl. We'll be right back in just a moment.
How many of us wished we bought Bitcoin early? We hear it all the time after the latest huge price surge. I wish I'd gotten in sooner. I wish I'd stocked up before the price took off.
Crypto markets are in the green this morning as Bitcoin hits yet another record high today.
The truth is, the real path to crypto wealth isn't chasing big price jumps. It's getting coins early and frequently. How? Mining. Mining gives you coins. Early Bitcoin adopters built their wealth by mining, and big banks and investors keep doing it, expanding their wealth and squeezing you and me out. Also, traditional mining comes with massive upfront hardware costs and sky-high electricity bills. But there's a better way. Meet Texas Coin, a new decentralized coin mined in Texas.
All right, we are back with the I Am Love Builder show, Casper and Cheryl, and today is Q&A day. We're going to get into some of your questions that you've been sending in to us over the months through social media and other things, and even email. So if you are watching live, feel free to type your question in the chat box. We're going to try to monitor those comments as they come in. But yeah, we're going to get to these questions. So let's just get right to it. So we have questions from couples and for singles. So I kind of have them segregated out so we kind of know who's asking what.
Yes.
So the first one is from couples. How can we keep our love strong when life gets busy or stressful?
Mm.
How do we keep our love strong?
Well, one of the things that we always talk about is remember your why.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So remember why you got married, why you were attractive to this person.
Right.
Secondly, if you are a couple that are believers, Jesus is the Lord of your life,
Right.
then you need to make sure you have incorporated him
Mm-hmm.
in your
Got
relationship.
a proper alignment going on.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times, because we get so busy with life, I mean, we have the same challenges as everyone else.
Right.
We have a child with special needs. We got adult children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren. And then we each have our own jobs and
Right.
careers.
Right.
And we're busy at church too. We
Yep.
have, that.
Yep.
So it's easy to find yourself going in separate directions.
Yes.
Or just not communicating as often
Mm-hmm.
as you should,
Right.
and forgetting to incorporate Jesus in the relationship.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's, and you're going to hear, this is going to be a common theme, folks, and that is you need to be intentional
Yes.
about everything that you do.
Yes.
From your marriage to your
Mhm.
your home environment to
Mhm.
your careers or whatever. Just be intentional
Mhm.
about it. So a lot of times we find couples have kind of drifted apart because they just let the world and situations get in the way,
Right.
or just they let those situations kind of take over.
Right.
Yeah.
They forget to remain intentional, but we schedule everything else in life.
Yeah.
We need to schedule time for each other, because
Absolutely.
the greatest importance in your life is your marriage.
Yeah.
And then your family, your careers and all that. But your family, your children, your marriage and careers won't be strong unless the two of you are strong.
Yeah.
And that means you guys got to spend some time together.
Yeah. And I think it's challenging because they said, how do we keep our love strong? And I don't know if you can, I know you can grow more in love, I guess, with your spouse.
Mm-hmm.
But in the beginning, it's probably not love in the beginning because you don't even know that person.
Mm-hmm.
You have to get to know them and get to like them and be around them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think over time, your love for them grows.
Right.
But we don't do, as you mentioned earlier, we don't do what we did to get them. We don't do that to keep them.
Right.
So, and that's why we start growing apart.
Well, let's also consider the fact, do we really understand the definition of love?
Right.
Because scripture says love is patient, love is kind,
Uh-oh.
love is not boastful.
Yeah.
So we need to get the Bible out and look at the definition of what love really is.
Yeah. And I think if they did that, they probably wouldn't use the word. They said, "No, that's not me." Scrap that love thing. I just want to be not have any drama.
Yeah. Well, no, these things are love.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what the true love is. So maybe if you get into a situation and you wanting to keep your love strong, then you need to go back to scripture and understand the true definition of what love really is and what love really means.
Yeah.
And then you need to make sure that things that are important to us, we make sure it happens.
Right.
We schedule it.
If
we really want to go to that game, we make sure we got tickets and the best seats that we can afford. And we got everything all worked out so that we can be there at that game. Yep. If that movie or that theater production or girls' night out or whatever it is
Mhm.
important,
Yeah.
we make sure it happens.
Yeah.
So our relationship with our spouse should be equally, or if not more, important than all the other things that we're doing in life.
Yeah, it's that biblical alignment again. You know, you got to have it. You got to know what your priorities are, and if you keep your marriage should be way high up on the priority list. Yeah.
Another thing I was going to say about keeping it strong
Mhm.
is I would suggest is that you do things that invest in your relationship.
Yeah.
That might be reading a book about
Yeah.
relationships.
Watching this show.
We know some authors that wrote a couple
Right.
of books that maybe you could check out.
Yeah.
Go to every year or every other year, go to a workshop or a
Mhm.
retreat,
Retreat,
be it an away one or maybe something in your local
Yeah.
area.
There's always
If your
something
church
going
is in somebody's church is having a marriage conference,
Mhm.
a workshop, there's that.
Yeah.
And then there's you two just deciding on, twice a month, we are going to have time together.
Right.
I think though having fun,
Mm-hmm.
we say if you're not
Mhm.
having fun, you're
Yeah.
not doing it right.
Yeah.
And even when the situation is busy or stressful, you should still be able to laugh and have a good time.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's not the one saying, well, I'm not having fun, so you're not fulfilling my needs because I'm not having fun. No,
Right.
that's not what we're talking about.
And it doesn't mean that things won't get hard. Our life gets hard too,
Yeah.
but we manage to still look at each other
Mhm.
and find something to chuckle about.
Yeah.
I mean,
we don't take it out on each other,
No,
right? When things happen.
no.
Yeah.
And so there's that.
Mhm.
And then when you're busy, you need to take time to analyze, review, what is all this busyness?
Right.
And is the busyness profitable? Is it helping or hindering your family, your
Right.
relationship,
Right.
your household?
Yeah.
Is it contributing to, or is it taken away from? It's like the love bank.
Yeah.
Is it making deposits,
Or withdrawals.
or is it making withdrawals?
Yeah. Yeah. And this show is live at the end of the year, getting close to the end of the year. This is the perfect time for you to really sit down and map out next year. What's that going to look like?
Mhm.
Get your priorities in order. So I was hoping we were going to get through a lot of these, but that was just one question.
Well, we want to be thorough.
We want to be thorough. Yeah, so we just got one question done, and we're going to be taking a break here. When we come back, we're going to get to another question, and this time for the singles. We'll be right back in just a moment.
Winning with Love, episode 5, season 6, number 2.
All right, we are back with I Am Love Builder Show, Casper and Cheryl. Again, folks, if you're watching us live, type those questions in. We will get to them. In fact, we'll give you priority over the questions we have wrote down on this list, because we have a bunch on the list. But if you are asking live, you are
We'll go right to
we'll
your
go right
question.
to your question. Absolutely. So let's get to one of the questions for singles. How do I know if I'm ready for marriage?
Wow, that's a pretty good question.
Yeah, that's a great
because
question.
There's a lot of people who now, as they say, hindsight is 2020,
Mm-hmm.
can look back and say,
I wasn't ready.
I wasn't ready.
They weren't ready. I'm not ready.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Or I really didn't sit and, as scripture says, count the costs. I didn't really sit and meditate
Yeah.
on what marriage was, or
Mhm.
my idea of marriage was skewed.
Yeah, skewed.
It wasn't real. It was based on fantasy. It was
Mhm.
based on folklore. It was based on what I perceived of my relatives relationships.
Right.
It
Right.
it wasn't realistic.
Right. Yeah, it's interesting. So, we actually have a 7 keys to healthy relationships,
Mhm.
and you can actually start with that list. And we're not going to go into all of them right now, but you have to get yourself whole, and
Right.
you might be coming from a previous bad relationship
Mhm.
or previous bad marriage or what have you,
Or
or
childhood.
a childhood. Yeah, you grew up in an environment that was not healthy,
Yes.
so you have to be able to recognize that,
Mhm.
and then start to get healed and whole before you go into a relationship.
Yes.
Because a lot of people just go from one bad relationship to the
Mhm.
next, to the
Mhm.
next, and they keep all the old baggage they bring to the new relationship,
Mhm.
and then they wonder why they're having problems with this person, and they're not. Yeah.
Because a lot of times us as human beings, we think this is falling apart
Mhm.
because of you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we go to the next relationship and we think, okay, so this is not working, but it's because it's you.
Right.
I
Yeah.
said, well, what part do you play? Well, the only
Yeah.
part I'm playing is that I'm not choosing the right one.
Right.
But it's them.
Yeah. Well, that was your famous line to me, because I was a hot mess before Cheryl, right? BC before Cheryl, and I was telling Cheryl about all my past dramas and failures and marriages and everything else, and she said, "You do know that the common denominator in all of that is you." I said, "Yes, ma'am, I do know that." And so,
so then I said, so what's wrong with you?
What's wrong with you? Gotta be something wrong with you, brother. But I overcame, and I got healed and delivered on a lot of things.
Mhm.
And it's been
It's an ongoing process.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lifelong journey.
Yeah, we're all work in progress.
But in our book, Divorce Proof in Your Marriage, the first 5 chapters, we talk directly to singles, because some of the issues that we have when we get married
Yeah.
is that we didn't fix or prepare for to the best of our ability when we were single.
Right.
So if you came from a toxic household growing up, then you need to check yourself
Yeah.
before you get into a relationship.
Yeah.
Because even if you don't realize it, you're taking some of that with you. Some of that subconsciously has been absorbed in your way of thinking, the way you process information, the way you look at relationships. It's in you and you don't even know it.
Yeah.
I came from a family of women, and they're very domineering.
Right.
And once I had a spiritual mother, and she really worked with us in identifying and seeing, what are you taking from your childhood or your family life that you possibly will be bringing into this marriage.
Right.
What ideologies and thought processes and fairy tales and folklore, imaginations that you have,
Yeah.
that you're bringing into this marriage, and you're not even aware of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. When I think about, a lot of times we talk about the fact that you need to be 100%. If you're getting into a marriage, you don't want to be 50% and they bring 50, because now you have 100% maybe, and then you're still going to potentially have challenges. But if you bring as close to 100 as you can, and they bring close to 100 as you can, now you have a relationship that is stronger, and is more than likely going to last. Right.
Right.
So the individuals have to really be focused on not having any holes in their bucket.
Correct.
Right. There needs to be all plugged in, all the things plugged in. Like, for example, if you're single, can you take care of yourself? Because if you can't, that means you have to find someone that can take care of you.
Right.
So that's not a whole person. That's not a whole situation.
Right.
Right.
And if you are single and you can take care of yourself, you must be aware if you are gravitating toward people who can't.
Right. Right.
because now you have a very high expectation because you
Yeah.
take care of yourself.
Yeah.
And so you're expecting them to take care of themselves, or you may inadvertently be looking for someone that you can take care of.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with that is people, even though they might let you take care of them to a certain extent,
Yeah.
they have their own agenda and their own world as to
Yeah.
how that's going to work.
Yeah. Yeah. When we first started dating and stuff, I had my own place. I had my own job. I had my own furniture. Wasn't living in my mom's basement. I was taking care of myself, right? And you were taking care of yourself.
Absolutely.
So we were both two whole people, even though we were in the process of growing and everything else.
You're still going to be growing. I mean, there's still going to be challenges in life.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like you're going to be completely whole when you meet this person. You're not. But you're both going to be at a point where you can take this journey together.
Yeah, yeah. But that's how you know, right? If you get into a situation and they're like, well, I'm glad you're here. Shh. Okay. So now here, you take this, and it's like, whoa, wait a minute. That's not a whole situation.
Yeah.
Right.
So you need to, I guess in short, what we're saying is make sure you get yourself healed before you step into a relationship, let alone a marriage.
Yes.
Work on yourself. If you're single right now, you are free to invest in you.
Yes, invest in you.
And then when you're looking for a person, not looking, but when you find that individual, when they come into your vision or before you, make sure that they're a person who's working on themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, make sure they're going through what they need to go through to become a whole person, get healing and deliverance, and willing to invest in themselves and grow and look at themselves when they have challenges, especially if maybe you've been married before and now you're divorced.
Right.
A lot of times we do that and then we jump right into another marriage.
Right into another one. Yeah. You got to get healed and healthy before you go to the next relationship. All right, we're going to take another quick break. When we come back, we're going to get into another question. We'll be right back in just a moment.
Well, which is my camera?
Right there, all the way down.
Oh, okay, I can talk to him. After all, he's my camera. I can talk to him. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Winning with Love with Casper and Cheryl Stockham. We are here with our wonderful guests.
God has been very graceful. Going back to what you stated, it's that work factor.
So we weren't arguing with one another, but maybe we needed to be. Right. Maybe we needed to be getting uncomfortable.
I'd only been saved 11 months. He'd been saved since he was 19.
But at the end of the day, I believe in marriage, and I think that it's really important.
You have been watching Winning with Love with Casper and Cheryl Stockham. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we are back with the IAM Love Builder Show, Casper and Cheryl. That was a quick promo for our season 1, and we'll have a promo for season 2 here soon. But season 2 was a lot of fun. We actually had our pastors come down and join us on TV, so that was a blast.
It was a good show.
That was a blast, yeah. So we had a show for couples and singles this time. So season 1 was just couples.
And you know what? If you're interested, please contact us. We would love to have you on one of the seasons of our TV show.
Absolutely.
We are always looking for couples. This year we were looking for singles as well, who well, first of all, who wanted to be on the show. And secondly, maybe had a product or a service or books or business or something that we could help highlight and help you expand your audience. So we're still open. So contact us.
Yep.
Because we had fun.
Absolutely. We had a lot of fun. So right now we're answering questions that you have that you've typed in on social media or send us an email, what have you. And if you're watching live, don't be shy. Go ahead and type your question in. If you want it to be anonymous, just say that and we won't say your name or whatever. But we want to get your questions answered and we'll move you to the top of the list because we have a bunch of questions here. We are not going to get to all of them because we're doing one per segment at this point, at this rate. So now we're going to move to couples again. And the question is, what should we do when communication breaks down between us?
Okay, so we may have touched on a little of this, but
Mhm.
I would say take a step back.
Right.
I can say personally, when we have communication issues,
Mm-hmm.
I take a step back and I look at me,
Hmm.
and I don't spend time. Well, the Holy Spirit won't allow me to spend time focusing on you
Hmm. Interesting.
and trying to highlight your faults, your failures, and what
Mhm.
you're doing wrong, and how you said this or that. But He pulls me in
Mm-hmm.
and He sets me down, and I share my heart as to me.
Right.
Okay, Cheryl, what were you thinking? I mean, what why did that hurt your feelings? You
Right.
know, what were you thinking? What was your perception of that hurt your feelings? And so I began to deal with me, and I began to ask me a lot of questions. Why am I offended by that? Why did that hurt me? What is my expectation?
Right.
And have I ever conveyed to you my expectation?
See,
Have
and
I even asked you what your expectations were?
yeah, I think couples, we get so comfortable with each other.
Mhm.
We think we know what the other person's thinking or wanting to do, whatever, and we stop talking. We stop asking questions. We stop communicating on that level. And then when something goes wrong, then we get angry and frustrated, and then our tone, gets louder and more confrontational. And next thing you know, now we're fighting, and we don't even know why we're fighting. I just know you always do that. See, every time we get into it, you always do this, and you always do that. So we just need to slow that down, calm down, like you said, do some self-reflecting, and that's big. A lot of couples don't do that. Husband nor wife, they don't do any self-reflecting and say, well, maybe it was the way that I came at him, or maybe it was the way I came at her. Maybe I should try to figure out how to communicate. You should be studying your spouse on how to communicate with them without setting them off, per se. Now, there are some folks, no matter how you come at them, there's still going to be confrontation. But you can really try to tell, like I always talk about, become the thermostat, not the thermometer. So you can dial it down. And we have a tool actually that I can show you the tool. It's on our website and other places, but you can actually use this tool to kind of to go back to the conversation using this tool and get things worked out. And I think that over the years, we've been married 23 years now. I think over the years, we've been able to work out so many of the little things that when we have a disagreement, we really don't have anything to go in the closet and pull back out or under the rug. There's not a lot of that stuff there.
Right.
But a lot of couples, they have so much stuff that's built up over the years. Some couples have been in this 10, 15 years, and they've got so much stuff built up.
It's monumental.
And they can't get past that stuff.
Right. It's like pushing a boulder uphill.
Right.
And in that case, when you've gotten to that point, that's when you need to get help.
Yeah.
You need to invite another couple, someone, if you're believers, some godly people who will help you stick to the scriptures and seek God for guidance and direction. But my number one thing with that is you have to ask yourself, because we have couples that come to us, and sometimes I'm not really sure if they really want to change.
They don't.
Sometimes I'm wondering, you've come to us, we're listened, we pointed a few things out, we've shared a few things, and either they're so comfortable where they are that they can't, even though it's not the right space, and they know it's not the right space, but they've become comfortable in that wrong space that it feels right to them, and they don't know how, or nor are they willing to pull themselves up and out of. It's like being in a bucket and you've gotten so comfortable and crabs is like, hey, we're used to staying in this bucket. This is how it always is, and we're just gonna stay here, and everybody around us is like this. So why should we change? And they get comfortable in that.
They're comfortable in their they are comfortable in their dysfunction.
Yes,
it's become normal to them.
Yes,
and what I say to them all the time is, you need a pattern interrupt.
Mm-hmm.
You need something to break that pattern, and sometimes that means the extreme is to separate.
Yeah.
I'm not saying divorce, but I'm saying you need to go to your separate corners
Mm-hmm.
and start working on you.
Yes.
Because it's not that you are the only issue, but together you guys cannot seem to even communicate enough
Mm-hmm.
to be productive.
Correct.
So what happens is you have to separate
Mm-hmm.
for a time, just like the Weeders. Him and his wife, they separated for years and stuff, and they got back together and they wrote a book now to help couples who are and they're both Christian and they're pastors and everything else, but they just couldn't figure out how to make it work together.
Mm-hmm.
They separated for a couple of years, came back, and now they have a strong, powerful ministry. And we have to take another quick break.
Okay.
We'll be right back in just a moment. Give me 1 second here to do some stuff.
Oh, it's Janine Emily.
And Mr. Tracy Lee Smith,
hosts of the national TV show Rockstar Diaries, healing out loud with heart, humor, and harmony.
and founders of Hearts and Sing Productions.
Casper and Cheryl, thank you so much for having us on Winning with Love. What an incredible experience. You two just create such a loving, safe, and joyful space where real stories can be shared with honesty, laughter, and heart.
Yes. Your mission to lead with love is exactly what the world needs right now. And it was an honor to be a part of a conversation that uplifts, inspires, and reminds us that we're all connected.
We walked away feeling encouraged, seen, and even more fired up to spread hope and healing through our own work.
If you're looking for a show that truly lives up to its name, Winning with Love is it.
Casper and Cheryl, thank you again for shining your light so brightly.
We
are grateful.
Well, we are grateful to our couples that came on the show for season 2, and that was the Smiths. And we're going to have some more testimonies coming to you as well over the next few weeks and months. So we're getting to these questions here, and we kind of touched on that one. And so now we're going to go back to the singles. The next question is, what qualities should I look for in a godly partner?
Wow. Well, that's going to that's going to depend on two things.
Okay.
You. Because all of us are different.
Yeah.
So what I might look for in a mate, my sister may look for something different.
Right.
Because we're different and we have different personalities. But the biggest thing for me as a single is that I adhere to the scriptures.
Mm-hmm.
I said, Lord, I want a man who is sincere about you, who's sincere about following this book, not someone who reads it and can quote it and hold it over me, but they don't live it themselves.
Yes, lordeth over me.
Yes, I want a man who's going to truly live. Now, I know we all have our challenges and we're not all 100%, or there's not perfection, but there's progress.
Yeah. You know what I look for in a godly partner?
What do you look for?
God.
Amen. Amen.
God in there somewhere? Let me see.
Somewhere.
Let me look through there. I'm not seeing no God in there.
Yes. Yes.
Where is God in that?
Mm-hmm.
Where is, it, like we tell people all the time, I said, look, because we do these workshops for the church and stuff and teachings. And I'm like, it's really hard for me to yell at you if I'm on the love line, the God line, love walk. It's super hard for me to get into a knockdown drag out with you. Because if I do, that means I'm not on the line.
Right.
Right. So I'm like, that's what I want to see in a spouse, to where I'm not being attacked, because all that is coming from that's the enemy, sliding in there, trying to make you angry at me for whatever and make me angry at you. That's all the enemy. So that's not God.
Yes. And we have to be aware of pettiness.
Right.
And I think that's the enemy gets in there.
That's the enemy.
And it's just petty. I mean, we're arguing over stuff, and it's like, really? What?
Yeah.
You know, why? And then we get so caught up in it that we ourselves can't see it.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's when you need to have another couple to interject
Yeah.
who can be honest
Right.
and godly and in love look at you and say, okay, you two.
Yeah. Knock it out.
You
Knock it
both,
off.
yeah, but you both got issues. It's
Yeah.
not just him. It's
Right.
not just her.
Yeah.
It's both of you.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think you should have, even though this is talking about singles, I think you should have an accountability partner. Well, no, singles should have it too. You should have an accountability partner.
Yes, because we fall in love, and then we get all caught up, and then we sometimes our vision gets skewed, and we can't see straight, and we start ignoring the red flags.
Yeah.
So I know we talked about you need to make sure you know who you are,
Right,
and what you look for in a spouse, but also according to the scriptures, what kind of spouse should you have?
right.
What God, that's when you go to the Holy Spirit and say, Holy Spirit, help me. I mean, sometimes we look for is more fleshly, more
godly.
natural,
Not godly.
than spiritual.
Mm-hmm.
So what are we looking for spiritually?
Yeah, yeah. And I also think that we should be, okay, if you want a godly partner, are you godly?
Yeah. You need, we've done that where you have the couple, they write down the list of what type of spouse they want, and then you read the list and say, okay, am I any of these things?
Right.
Am I expecting this person to be something I'm not?
Right.
I want them to be patient and kind and loving and gentle. I want them to work and have a job and be open-minded and accept me for who I am.
Yeah.
And if I grow, they grow with me. And are you that?
Yeah, that's a huge problem. So,
So the qualities to look for in a godly person is God. Are they godly? And then secondly, are you?
Yeah. Are you? And and some people say, well, I just didn't know. They seemed like they were this or that. Godliness leaves clues.
Yes.
So what you want to do is get around their friends. That'll tell you if they're godly or not.
And bring them around your friends.
Yeah. If they're not around godly friends, it's a pretty good indication that they're not godly.
Right. Or if they're with your friends, your girlfriend said, what are you thinking? Have you noticed the fact that he does this or that, or he doesn't have this or that? Or, and it's not so much, and your married friends.
Yeah.
Not so much your other single friends, them too, but all your friends. Everybody should be able to look at him and say, he seems like an okay guy.
Yeah.
Or they say, well,
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, there are clues.
There are clues.
There are clues, and
don't ignore the red flags.
Yeah, don't ignore the red flags.
Because sometimes we know what we want, but we get so caught up in he's so cute, or he's so sweet, and he bought me flowers, or he took me out, and we forget.
Yeah. Get around the people that they are around, their friends, their family, right? And if they don't want to introduce you to their friends or family, that's another clue. Now, I'm not saying, you need to meet their family because now you're going to get engaged or whatever. I'm just saying that they need to be able to take you around where they go around, right? And if they're not willing to have you in those circles, that's a clue. And then you will find out pretty quickly. Now, couples that we talk to or singles we talk to, they ignore the red flags. Then they say, well, he said he went to church. Okay, have you been to church with them? If they say they go to church, you need to go to church with them to see.
And when you went with them, did anybody know him?
Right. They say, hey, sir, how are you? Like, I thought this was your church.
Like, oh, you both new? Welcome. Like, I thought you were here. Nobody knows you.
Nobody knows you. Yeah, that's not your church.
Yes. Yeah. So you need to know what qualities you want. Make a list if you have to help to keep yourself on track. But it needs to be. Don't ignore the red flags.
Yeah, yeah, and we have a lot of this stuff that's free in the app and on our website. as far as the checklist, the 7 keys to a healthy relationship and 7 keys to a healthy marriage and 7 keys to divorce proofing your marriage. We have a lot of those keys that are free and available that you can start there to really use as a checklist, if you will, to kind of answer some of these questions. We're going to take another quick break. We'll be right back in just a moment. All right, we are back with the I Am Love Builder show, Casper and Cheryl, and we are going through some of your questions that have come into us over the weeks or months and so from social media and email. And if you are watching live, feel free to type your question in. We will move it to the top of the list so we can answer that question live for you. And you can ask it anonymously if you don't want your name to be shown. So we're on this question.
This one, okay.
Yeah. For couples, question number 3, how do we rebuild trust after it's been broken?
Well, that's a hard one.
That's a hard one, right?
But I'm going to say our one friend, Lourdes, she uses this one word and I just love it. She always says, you have to be willing.
Yes.
And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so right, Lourdes. You have to be willing.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter what others say or do, or if you're not willing, it's just not going to work.
Yeah. So if you're the one who has kind of betrayed the trust, then you have to be willing to now help build that back.
Stay the course.
Yes. Establish that trust back. And you do that by being completely honest and transparent.
And patient. Because it may take that person a while to get comfortable with you again.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're going to have to be patient with them.
And it also kind of depends on what caused the trust, the issue in the beginning. I know we're doing some things really that we didn't even, it's not like we don't trust each other, but we're doing things that normal couples probably wouldn't do. And we were excited about it. Like, for example, we put trackers on each other's car, right? But that's not something even couples even think about doing. And I was thinking about it from a safety perspective. But then the other day I was at the store or something. He said, so what do you do? Where was I at?
Well, you were supposed to be going to the post office. But you came back with a Philly cheesesteak, which is very delicious, by the way.
Right.
And I was like, there's no post office over there. Well, and it wasn't so much that I was checking on you to see where it was, but I had an incident that happened. And I was alarmed. And I thought, oh my goodness, I need to call honey. I mean, how soon is he coming home? Because I don't know what to do.
And see if I was close to home.
Right. It was like I was somewhat of an emergency, and I didn't know what to do, and I was panicked a little bit. And I was like, well, let me see how close is he to home. And so I looked at the app and I could see it. I'm like, well, I guess I'm gonna have to work this out by myself because it's like it's gonna be a while before he gets home.
Right.
But it wasn't. But it worked out for good. But I also like the fact for safety reasons. That's a big deal these days.
It's a huge deal. And my point is that a couple that has lost trust you might have to do something like that to start to regain your
Mhm.
trust.
Mhm.
And it's not that you're trying to keep track of me, I'm trying to keep track of you. It's just that, and it's not one-sided. In other
No.
words, it's not just a tracker in your car, not mine.
Mhm.
It's both cars,
Mhm.
right? So we're both keeping each other accountable,
Mhm.
because we know couples where one is trying to track the other. It's only like a one-sided tracking deal, or whatever, and that's not cool either.
Yeah, and it's not like, well, from my perspective, I'm not always looking to track. I just,
Yeah, but
if
I'm
I
saying
have an emergency, I
right.
need to know, where are you?
I know, but in this case, when we're talking about rebuilding trust, it might be a question of,
Mhm.
it might be as serious as infidelity. And if it's that, there's a whole lot of rebuilding that needs to happen in that case.
Right.
And there may be a time to where both parties need to submit to some level of
Mhm.
accountability.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
So,
Yes.
yeah.
And not only infidelity, but I was also thinking of addictions,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
gambling,
Yeah.
addictions,
Yeah.
alcohol, drugs,
Mm-hmm.
those porn, those
Right.
type of things. And by the way, if it gets to be that deep,
Mm-hmm.
you do need to get some professional help.
You need to get help, and you need to
Yes.
have some accountability partners as well in that
Mhm.
arena. I don't mind being an accountability partner, but I'm not going to tell a guy that he needs to listen to me.
Mhm.
He has to come to me and say, "Will you be my accountability partner?" And absolutely,
Mhm.
right? Because I've done it at the church. There's two men at the church, and I went up to them and said, "Will you, if you see anything that I'm doing that you think is a little off, please, you have my permission to confront me about it."
Mhm. Mhm.
Right. So that's what needs to happen. That guy in this case needs to take responsibility and
Mhm.
say, I need to have at least two accountability partners who can keep me in line.
And if it's the woman, the same. You need to have an accountability part, and then we need to look at what caused the breakdown.
Mm-hmm.
What is the root cause of the breakdown?
Right.
I said, because the breakdown itself is the symptom
Mm-hmm.
of what happened at the root.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be willing to get down to the root,
those hidden issues.
Yes, and see what has caused this breakdown.
Mm-hmm.
If it is a case of infidelity, why is there infidelity there?
Yeah.
What happened within the course of the relationship? If it's an addiction, then we need to get some medical and professional help to find out what is the root cause of this addiction. Why are we there?
Yeah, most of those things don't just happen
No.
out of the blue.
No.
There's something that caused that.
Mhm.
It could be family, childhood drama, or stuff
Mhm.
like that in the past. It may be the fact that they didn't get healed from something.
Mhm.
All those kind of things obviously are in play. But
in the same time, in being accountable with your spouse
Mhm.
to help build trust, we also don't want to fall down the rabbit hole
Mhm.
of where we are smothering either.
Right. Because at the end of the day, God and that person are the only ones that can really fix that problem.
Right.
So you can't fix your spouse.
No.
I know you want to, and we always try, but you can't fix your spouse.
Mm-mm.
That's up to God and that individual. Now you can be supportive,
Mhm.
you can be a coach to some degree,
Mhm.
but you can't fix them.
No.
The best thing you can do is pray for them and get your act together,
Mhm.
so that you're not a cause of any,
A cause for the breakdown. Or contribution to the breakdown.
to it. Yeah.
Also, when it comes to rebuilding trust,
Mhm.
it's twofold. The person who caused the trust breakdown
Mhm.
must rebuild trust for the other person.
Yeah. They're responsible for it. Yeah.
But the person who was who experienced the lack of or the breakdown,
Right.
they too have to build back up trust. So trust is being rebuilt from both angles.
Yes, it is. And that person that the trust was broken, they have to allow the other person to build, because sometimes the other person is trying, but nothing they do is good enough at that point.
Right.
So you have to be willing to say, okay, I'll accept that piece.
And so then you have to go to God and say, okay, God, I'm hurting in this area now, and I need you to help me rebuild trust in my spouse again.
Yeah.
So it's twofold.
Help me find
And
belief.
God's going to be looking for both of you to come before him so he
Yep.
can minister.
Yep. Well, that was great and stuff. We got a bunch more questions. So what we'll do is anytime we have any kind of a scheduling thing going on, we'll just pop some questions in there. So, and folks, you've been watching I Am Love Builder show with Casper and Cheryl. We're so excited you guys are here. Again, if you have any questions at all, feel free to type it into the follow us on social media. Ask us the question in our Facebook group, right? A lot of questions come in through there. So go ahead and type that in and let us know, and we will get to those questions on air, live on the air.
We appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Absolutely. You know, our goal is for you to become MVPs. That's the most valuable partners in a relationship. And when you do that, you guys come together when you're both working on being MVPs. That's when great stuff happens in your relationship. We will see you guys on the next show. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.